Hi, Dr. Lindsey here. It is rare that I use the word transformational in the description of a hair transplant result, but this guy had a transformational result in his life. And we helped him with his hair transplant. We didn't do the whole thing, but we gave him the confidence to make a change. So this 45-year-old fella came in and he's a class 5, maybe going to a class 6 hair loss. And he looked like this. He's got average hair and a big color contrast. And he gave us a story that he was having lots of trouble with interpersonal relationships and lack of confidence, and maybe problems in the workplace and problems at home. And I met with him a couple of times, and I was very frank that I wasn't sure that a hair transplant was going to change any of that. Typically, hair can maybe give guys confidence, but it certainly doesn't change everything. And so I made him wait a while, and eventually he came back in, and we did this hairline and 2,600 grafts. And he came daily for probably 2 weeks, even though at day 6 we're essentially done, wait for it to grow, but he was very nervous. And then he came in at a couple of months, and then here he is probably around 5 or 6 months when it's growing, and he started to relax a little bit. And then he came in at 13 months to do a second case. And interestingly, he said he went back out to another hair transplant doctor who I think doesn't do a lot of hair, who had seen this man first, to see whether he could give him another opinion on it. I think he went from being pretty bald to looking really quite good. So it kind of struck me as odd that he went back to a dentist that dabbles in hair to see whether they could fine-tune him. And then I guess the dentist told him that we gave him a good result, so he came back to us for a second case, and we did another 2,000 grafts. And again, he was still a different type of anxiety than our typical customer. And I guess we heard from him probably 2 months after his second case, and then I didn't hear from him at all until a year out. I was on vacation, and he emailed, when can he come in for pictures? So here he is, 25 months after we started this whole procedure, and after 2,600 grafts in the front, a slight lowering of his hairline, and 2,000 grafts in the back of his head on a second case. All right, chin up just a hair, if you would, please. So, Steve, how old a dude are you?
48.
And your before pictures are up to your right. And when I saw you a couple years ago, that was a big project, meaning that you have a big color contrast, and you were somewhere between a class 5 and a class 6 hair loss. And you thought about it for a while, and we did your first case, which I already discussed, and I'm running a comb through your hair. And then we did a second case, and I think we added a few hairs to your hairline. Can you spin around and face the blue wall? I want to get the back of your head. Okay, just stay like that. And you have an active lifestyle, and your crown looks good. There's still a little area that's a little bit thin, but man, we've really made a big change. Have you been happy with what I've done to you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, exceeded expectations.
Any kind of bullshit I pulled on you?
Pretty straightforward.
Okay, I'm just going to show the back here. And you wear a fairly short haircut. That's a pretty typical Lindsey scar after 2 cases. Turn back around if you would. And then, how much did the whole thing hurt? You can be completely honest.
The pain's not so bad. The swelling for the first week of the procedures, just something you kind of need to plan for. And
you came every day to get cleaned, I think, right? And,
yeah.
And even after that, regularly were you being somewhat anxious, and you came by a couple of times early on to make sure things were cool?
Yeah.
We didn't give you much of grief about that. We were happy to see it, right?
Yeah, no, it was just a very, I won't call it hand-holding, but still, supportive of the entire procedure.
All right, man, I really appreciate your business. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, just in seeing the guy walk in, he is completely a different person than he was when I first met him, or even a year ago. When he came in before, I would probably describe the guy as a fairly high-stress, anxious man who was jumpy. And when he walked in now, he looked like a guy that had won a weightlifting contest, or he was just confident. He had a bit of swagger in his step. He does a competitive activity here in Northern Virginia. I'm reluctant to say what it is, but he says he's won a couple of awards during this competitive activity. He's gotten a promotion. He feels like his spouse pays more attention to him, and he gets, in his mind, he gets plenty of compliments from other people. I mean, this has changed this fellow's life. But in summary, hair transplants do not change lives. They do, however, in some people, give patients extra confidence that allow the patient to change their lives. If you look at some of my previously 508 YouTube videos, I would guess there's 20 or 30 where guys have talked about life-changing results as a result of getting a hair transplant. And the same thing in my facelift practice. There are people that have just been able to change their lives and get that extra little confidence that lets them move ahead with whatever their goals are. Make no mistake, hair transplants and facelifts do not work miracles. They can, however, give you confidence to make your own changes. We do these all the time. If I can help you, please give me a call.